Hello friends, today I have come up with yet another video to discuss Unit 3 of Construction Engineering and Management. So let us look at the syllabus here. Okay, so you have this, cost and resource optimization techniques, and the topics are such cost model, having direct and indirect cost component of project cost flow, project cost, time analysis and optimization, resource usage profile, histograms, resource allocation, smoothing and leveling techniques, project updating, introduction of project management software, building information modeling, etc. So I have notes corresponding to these topics, that is cost model, direct and indirect cost component of project, cost flow, project cost, time analysis and optimization. Now I'm yet to find some notes regarding resource usage profile, histograms, and we have seen resource allocation, smoothing and leveling techniques. Now project updating instead of project updating I have for network updating. Okay, we will check later whether it's same as project updating. And then I need to get notes on introduction of project management software, building information modeling, etc. So in case it's possible for you, if you could get in touch with your friends at other engineering colleges affiliated to Osman University, please get the relevant notes and also let me know about that. Okay, so let us go for a short brief um, discussion on Unit 3. So let us start with the cost model. So I have sent the PDF here already to you all, and you can see this Unit 3 PDF. Okay, so guys, this is consisting of the old syllabus. Okay, so some of the topics which are mentioned here are not required for us. Okay, so these are the list of topics which are covered under Unit 3 as per the old syllabus, okay, which is contained inside this PDF. So we'll be just ignoring the first few slides here, and these are not important. These are not required for us because this is standard deviation and probability and normal distribution. All that was covered in a previous syllabus. Okay, so we don't require to study that. So we are basically starting from project cost. Okay, so the cost of the project or the project cost is divided into direct cost and indirect cost. So you can just remember what I had discussed in the class. Direct costs, are the expenditures which are chargeable and identified with the activities of the project. Now these costs are very much known to us, like the material cost, building material cost, and the cost of the laborers. Okay, and the indirect cost is consisting of those expenses which cannot be clearly determined. Okay, they cannot be allocated to the activities of the project. So the establishment charges, so charges required to set up an office. Okay, insurance charges for insurance which covers up the construction activity or the offices. Administration charges means charges related to payment of salaries for the permanent employees and the temporary ones. So you can see a flow chart with regards to the direct cost here. Direct cost is consisting of cost for manpower, cost for material and the machinery. Okay, so again under manpower we have a subcontractor, okay, who works under the under the directions from a contractor, and then departmental manpower, okay, related to the office work. Then under materials we have basic materials. Okay, basic materials like which are like the cement, steel, etc. Consumables, okay, those which get consumed from time to time. Okay, steel, cement, etc. get consumed, okay, from time to time. Basic materials may also include materials like the basic food which is required for the laborers or for other engineers. Okay, machinery, they could be like own machinery, like the batch concrete mixer or the vibrator. Okay, and machinery could also be hired. Like for example, if you wish to go for excavation work, you generally hire a JCB or a poke lane. Okay, you don't buy that machine generally. So then coming to indirect cost, okay, it's divided into variable cost and fixed cost. So the staff expenses come under the variable cost, the labor expenses, okay, then the provident fund and other items, welfare expenses concerned with the site, okay, other rates and taxes which are to be paid to the government, water and power, okay, whatever water is being used up at the office, at the site, and the electrical consumption. okay, you need to pay for that. Then conveyance expenses, okay, amount of money or amount of fuel which is required in transporting the material goods from the particular source to the particular site. OPE, okay, I'll let you know what OPE stands for. The hire and rental charges of the office setup. Then postage and stationery, that also comes under the indirect cost here. And here now here just a minute. Here infrastructure as well, okay. So here we have this project cost, which is the sum of direct cost and indirect cost. And you see here, this is the curve for total cost, this is the curve for direct cost, and this is the curve for indirect cost, okay. Guys, you might remember we had already discussed this in the classes, regular classes, okay. Now this topic is project acceleration. You do not find even this topic in the syllabus, but we may just go through this. Project acceleration is the process of expediting the project in case we want to finish the project earlier than expected, okay. So here the contractor may like to achieve the job completion, okay, to by a certain date, in order to avoid adverse weather, or there could be annual spring runoff, maybe the weather changes, or to free to or liberate workers and equipments for other work. Okay, sometimes the contractor may be having two or three projects in hand, and then he may have a limited manpower in form of workers, and he may also have limited equipment or machinery. In that case, he will try to complete the job by a certain date, okay, so that then these workers can be freed up and they can be deployed at another site. And also financial arrangements could be such that it becomes very imperative and compulsory for the contractor to finish the work within the prescribed time period. And the contractor also may like to complete the project early, so that he can get some sort of award or a bonus from the owner, okay. And also sometimes due to the local issues, political issues, regional issues, religious issues, or due to some sort of festivals, okay, the laborers may not be available during certain time periods or during certain seasons. So in that case, you see, you need to adjust the schedules and accommodate the in order to accommodate the adverse job circumstances. And then revisions are required to meet the time requirements under the contract, okay. So these are some of the reasons for accelerating the project. Now, the cost time analysis in network planning. So these are the important terms which are used in cost time analysis. It's very important to memorize these. You might get the definitions under short answer questions. Okay, the normal time represented by Tn is simply the time for performing an activity with the normally available resources. Okay, normal cost is the minimum direct cost, okay, when activity is performed in normal time duration. Crashing is the process of reducing project time by deploying additional resources. And crash time is the minimum time in which an activity can be performed. Similarly, crash cost is the direct cost corresponding to the crash time. Very simple definitions, okay, please make sure that you are memorizing them. Then activity crashing, here we will talk about the cost slope. Okay, cost slope is simply defined as the ratio of difference between the crash cost and normal cost to the difference between normal and crash time. Okay, if you plot a graph, between the activity cost and activity time, okay, you can find a straight line graph over this region. Okay, and then you can see the crash time here. This is the normal time, okay. And then you have this crashing activity. This is the crash cost and this is the normal cost. So normal cost will always be lesser. Generally the crash cost is higher, okay. This y-axis corresponds to the activity cost, so crash cost will be greater than normal cost. But in case of time, crash time will be lesser than the normal time will be greater than crash time, okay. Cost optimization is the process of decreasing the cost, okay, and trying to take the least possible time in order to complete the project. So optimum cost, now you see, if you plot the curve for total cost, okay, now versus the time, then at one particular point the tangent drawn would be horizontal. So you can see here the tangent is horizontal, and the total cost is minimum here, minimum total cost, and this cost is known as optimum cost. Okay, so in cost time analysis problem, you are generally trying to find out the optimum cost and the optimum time duration. So that optimization will depend upon rate of crashing, cost slope, as you've already seen in the problem. Okay, it depends upon the critical path because we require to find out the critical paths in order to crash the particular activity durations. Then indirect cost is also very much important. So these are some of the terms, guys. Okay, sometimes you might guess, might be thinking, what is time cost trade-off? So it is actually referring to the process of shortening project time duration. So maybe you will write about the resource smoothing. Okay, how time is reduced. Okay, in order to complete the project fast. So here, okay, activity needs to be expedited to reduce total project time. So here again, this is similar to the reasons for project acceleration, okay, which we have seen already here. And activity crashing. So this is very very important, guys. Okay, procedure for cost optimization. So this is a procedure which you are following in order to work out the numerical problem for crash cost. Okay, so in the numerical problem we need to find out the optimum time, the crash time, and the the crash cost. Okay, the or the optimum cost, in fact. So this is the procedure starts with first determining the total cost from network of normal durations and calculating the cost flow for all activities. Sometimes you might be already having the cost flow in the problem when you have that particular table which shows the normal time, crash time, okay, crash cost, normal cost, etc. So starting with a network of normal durations, you would be crashing the critical activity having least cost flow. Okay, that is this thing comes in picture after finding the critical path. Okay, then we need to redraw the network after crashing. Okay, and then determine the project duration and total cost. Then you would be successively crashing the activities, okay, and determining the respective time durations and total costs. Okay, for all the crashed for all our maximum crash network, you would determine the total cost. Okay, you would plot a graph between the total cost and total and time curve, and will identify the least total cost, okay, which is also the optimum cost, and the time corresponding to this cost is the optimum time. Okay, so this is a procedure you need to follow in order to optimize, and in order to find out the optimum time duration and the optimum cost. So this is a problem. Okay, and guys, I really apologize. Okay, I will not be using this particular video to explain the problem. Okay, inshallah I shall be uploading separate video for discussing all the numerical problems of construction engineering management. Okay, so there could be different videos, okay, or one video combining all. Most probably they would be different videos, otherwise the duration of the video becomes really big. Okay, so here this is the we just have a glance on the the steps involved in it. But meanwhile, okay, if you find these confusing or tough, okay, as I had already mentioned, the you could follow the YouTube link, okay, the Kausar Wise channel, okay, which has given a very clear explanation of determining the optimum duration and optimum cost. Okay, that you can use that link, that particular YouTube video, so in order to understand. Okay, for any kind of problem related to construction engineering and management, whatever videos I have shared in the YouTube, okay, by different channels, please make sure you're watching it at least 3 to 4 times. Grab a pen and paper, okay, and while watching the video, please do the working. Okay, that will help you gain confidence. In at least if you do it 3 to 4 times, okay, you should be able to get it in the third attempt. Okay, if you are intelligent enough, you can understand it in the very first attempt. So these are some of the problems which are worked out. Okay, you have the solution and clear working in these problems. Okay, you can go through these. Okay, then project time monitoring, okay, that is not included in the syllabus, but milestone chart is included. Okay, so get to know about these milestones. Okay, milestones are important points in times, okay, which are considered very important and as intermediate reference points during accomplishment of work. Okay, so it includes the targets, it includes the completion of certain important tasks. Okay, and the dates could be set by the contractor or the dates could be imposed by the owner. And generally, the milestones refer to the scheduled date for either the start or completion of some difficult or important aspect of the project, and that's the reason why we are calling it as milestone. Okay? So in large projects, contractor will always establish or um, connect series of milestones extending throughout the project. Okay, and that will be used for reference points for project monitoring, that is for checking the progress of the project. Okay, contractor would be pointing out certain milestones, okay, which would be used as reference points. And then project time monitoring, this is also not part of the syllabus. And network update, as I said, it could mean project updating, but give me some time, I'll try to get the relevant notes on project updating as well. If you don't get the answer, if you get a question on project update, okay, at least instead of leaving it blank, please make sure you write this particular definition regarding network updating. So the method used for displaying progress of activities on planning charts corresponding to a given time is called network updating. Okay, so project updating could mean the same. Okay, so you can just go through these. Okay, and these are small topics actually. So go through it, and if you have any kind of doubts, please refer to me. Okay, rescheduling or resource smoothing, that is generally done, okay, when you have when you have a limited work power, okay, limited manpower. Okay, when you determine the critical path, then you also get to know the non-critical activities of the particular project. So if there is a huge disparity, huge variation in the number of manpower involved, engaged in different activities, so you can actually go for rescheduling. That is, you could transfer some of the laborers from non-critical activities to critical activities. This way, you are trying to smoothen or reschedule. Okay, and then manpower leveling is process of smoothing out the labor demands. Okay, here the we need to be very careful in allotting the laborers. Okay, so that's what we are doing in the rescheduling. Okay, so there was there were few problems in textbook regarding the resource leveling and smoothing, but we can be rest assured in most of the cases we can guess that the long answer question should be related to the cost time analysis. Okay, which would mean 14 marks. So this problem, okay, these kind of problems, okay, where you are going for successive crashing, would should carry 14 marks. So in that case, I don't think you can get any problem on resource leveling or resource smoothing. But it is always better that at least you get to know the theory part, you get to know the definition and some important points under resource leveling and smoothing. So those points are there in Gehlot and Dhir book. Okay, please, you can refer to that textbook and get to know about uh, the concept of resource allocation and smoothing. Okay, so let us see the syllabus once again. So here we have just discussed about all these topics, most of these topics here, and you can then try to get information on building information modeling, project updating, and introduction of project management software. Okay, resource usage profile histograms is also something that we need to know. Okay, but you should be getting some important notes on histograms because that's related to statistics or mathematics graphs generally. Resource usage profile should also be known to us, so you can just find out more on those missing topics. But anyways, okay, whatever I have discussed, it's covering the main cream of the unit 3. Okay, particularly the problem. So please make sure that practice the problems again and again. I'm making this request again and again because you should not be losing out on 14 marks there. Okay, if you are thorough with the question, then you can get full 14 marks. So that's it from me. Okay, please make sure that you work hard for your exams. Okay, I'll also be trying to upload a video on covering all the unit 5 important questions. Okay, um, very much like the expected questions for your session and examination, so that way no, you should feel more comfortable. Okay, that's it from now.